What was the greatest pleasure you ever felt? Poland, 2002. I'm strapped into a C-130 and full combat equipment preparing to jump as part of an airborne training operation with the 173rd Airborne Division. We took off out of Aviano Air Base in northern Italy. For whatever reason, my dumbass didn't pee at all that morning. Not when I got up. Not after PT. Not after breakfast. As I stood in the airfield after getting my harness and pack on awaiting a jump master to check me out before boarding, I realized I really had to go. Once a jump master looks you over and clears you to jump, you cannot touch your equipment. Not unless you want to get smoked for wasting their time. So there I sit in the plane en route to Poland. I'm 22. This is my 9th-10th training jump, not counting those in airborne school. The ride is 3-some odd hours. I now have to pee so bad I feel like my eyes are turning yellow. I have heard stories of guys just pissing themselves on long flights. Not sure if you all have seen the inside of a C-130 full of airborne troopers, but we are packed the hell in there like sardines. I can't move. I refuse to piss myself. I am a grown-ass man, damn it. The flight is excruciating. Let me just say that on every jump I have made prior to this one I get the jitters. Normal jitters. The kind you get because your brain has told you how illogical it is to be jumping out of an airplane. I have none of that now. Just a single focus: get the fuck off this bird by any means necessary. The doors open as we near the drop zone. I stand up and hook up, and I am literally crossing my damn legs to keep from pissing myself. Because my reserve chute and rucksack are tied onto the front of me covering my legs, I can't get at my dick, but I promise you all if I could have, I would have been squeezing it like a 3-year-old to keep from pissing my pants. The green light goes on. I literally begin shoving the guy in front of me to get out the door. No fear. No thought to checking my line, looking at the drop zone before I jump, or even looking to see what the weather is doing. I am in the air. My chute opens and I pull my release that allows my rucksack to fall free of my body without even looking if a fellow trooper is below me. As I approach the ground, I am mid-air fumbling with my BDU pants button to get my dick out before I even make contact with the ground. I hit the deck and, instead of releasing the catch on my chute that would release it and let it collapse, I roll sideways and start to go. Y'all, it felt so good to piss. It was like an ongoing orgasm that lasted for a full minute. It felt so good, in fact, that I don't immediately notice I am being dragged across the ground by my chute like a traveling golden shower show. I am literally being pulled through a field in Poland, passing fellow soldiers, pissing sideways as I move. I barely register my squad laughing their asses off at the image of me with my dick out leaving a stream of piss on the ground as my chute propels me through the field. I am now 41, and to this day it was the most pleasure/relief I have ever felt. Even getting made fun of by my unit for it for the next few months did nothing to put a dent in how good it felt. This one is kind of gross, FYI. I got surgery to fix a broken nose so I could breathe better. This involved having my nose packed with packing, essentially tampons, for a few weeks. It wasn't the removal of the packing that was amazing, it was the first time I blew my nose shortly after. It felt like a half cup of mucus was pulled directly from my brain and there was a golf ball size result in the tissue. The best feeling I ever experienced was directly after that, where breathing through my nose was so incredibly easy I felt like a superhuman who conditioned in the Andes for months of something. I laughed with excitement. Yes, I had the same thing, a septorhinoplasty. Having all that gauze packed up inside my sinuses for days and days. The guy gets me to hold a dish under my chin, starts pulling what seems like yards and yards of bloody gauze out of each nostril. Tears were streaming down my face. I did not care one bit. Oh, such a relief. I had a dream that I was a toaster. I woke with a feeling of anticipation. Then I made toast with pure concentration. Afterwards I was entirely fulfilled, having accomplished the ultimate purpose of my existence. You win. Nobody will ever understand this, but you do, you buddy. You make that toast. Had sinus surgery, and removing the internal splints after about a week being clogged up was probably the best thing in the world. The greatest non-sexual pleasure I've ever felt was 32 years ago. I was swimming with friends in the Pacific Ocean at Balboa Park in California. I got wiped out by a huge wave. My friends helped me out of the water, and I went and laid on the grass underneath palm trees looking up at the clear blue sky. A feeling of peace just washed over my body. I've never felt that kind of thing again. I would chalk that up to the holy shit, I could have died just now and yet I'm still here. Sort of euphoria. Getting my back scratched. I have an extremely rare, maybe 100 in the US, genetic anomaly that makes susceptible to growing GI tract and other cancers. I just had my 45th surgery, my younger sister has at 70. It's not the anesthesia I enjoy, but the pre-anesthesia drugs they give you in the waiting bed, while under warmed up blankets. Hours of near bliss and conscious to enjoy it. Gotta look at the sunny side, right? 45 surgeries? Oh gosh, so with that once every few months? Most since I turned 33, but my first was at 6 years old. I'm 53 now, had 5 in the last 13 months including 1/3 of my left lung removed. I will probably get a kidney out this year. Your username should be BraveBigMan1001. I had a small project go wrong. As I went to fix one part, a subpart messed up. So I had to step back to work on that. Then a subpart messed up. I took another step back. What I expected to take 20 minutes took 4-ish hours. But 3.5 hours in, I thought there was no way it would work out at all. When I got it all fixed, I did the Billy Madison I am the smartest man alive. I've been riding that high for a few weeks now. 99 little bugs in the code. 99 little bugs, take one down, patch it around. 117 little bugs in the code. Had this just last week with an integration I'm building. Turns out I was pounding my head against a wall for nothing. The vendors hadn't implemented a new customer integration in some time, the documentation was outdated and didn't work at all how their implementation team thought it did. Their developers are now fixing the docs. Surely they realized their mistake and came to you to tell you, right? It definitely didn't take 2 weeks of providing logs, troubleshooting steps, permissions, etc. for them to investigate and determine the fault was their side. Landing my first kickflip. I'm pushing 40, and nothing in life has ever felt as satisfying as that first one. Taking a shit in my own bathroom after a long vacation. Almost brings a tear to my eye just thinking about it. It usually brings a tear to my eye cause it's so large. I have a hard time shitting outside my own home. Putting my feet on near my radiator after coming home from a cold day. When school's cancelled for the day and you're half asleep and overhear your mother tell your sister not to wake you up because school's out. Used to leave a smile on my face before snuggling back into my covers. Damn, especially when it's raining or snowing that day. Not school related, but you said raining and I thought of yesterday. I walked my dog, went to the gym, showered, ran some errands, picked up some lunch and went home. Right when I was parking it started raining hard. I had that feeling of already getting a bunch done and nothing else to do the rest of the day. Then I got to relax and eat and listen to the rain. Perfect. Reading your comment and I suddenly feel like I'm back in 4th grade. Early December, watching the weather the night before, waking up to a dark room and gray skies knowing school is called off. Simpler times. Almost dying, I was drifting away and it felt so good. Very scary. My grandmother coded once and used to say how instinctively annoyed she was they brought her back. She said it was the best feeling. Wow, I can see why everyone always suggests learning to code. A pretty rich schoolmate treated us to a fancy restaurant for their birthday and they served us lobster ravioli for a starter. I can't explain the fucking explosion of joy and palate pleasure as I ate something like that for the first time. I don't know if it was the lobster itself, or the sauce. No meal has ever come close to how good that was. I can still remember it vividly 12 years later. Silly, but that's it. My husband's boss took us and all his coworkers out to this really upscale Japanese place and basically ordered everything on the menu to share at the table. We were having a great time, drinking sake, laughing. Then I picked up this sushi thing. It was like a fried pouch with salmon and avocado in it, I think. I swear, eating that felt just like a hug. Probably when I began to go to the gym. The first day was very rough because I have never went to a gym before, so I was really tired. When I got home I just took a hot shower, I let myself fell into my bed and man. I fell asleep like in 5 seconds, bro. I really slept well that night. The best sleep I've ever had. Lying in bed after showering after a workout is a wonderful feeling. You are riding the endorphins from working out and your muscles are icky but it just feels so good. That and the first cut into a fresh piece of construction paper. Not in intensity, but putting back a sock after brooches were removed in my foot. After 1 month of bandages and a special shoe to walk on your heel, being able to walk with both feet level and in regular shoes was very surprising and awesome. Somewhat similar, many years ago I broke a bone in my leg and was on crutches for a few months. Happened to go to a pool and someone alerted me to the fact that I could probably walk in the pool since water rehabilitation is a thing. It felt so surreal to walk again that I spent more than an hour just walking back and forth in the shallow end, probably looking like a fool. I cannot imagine the joy that people with far more severe injuries feel when they take their first steps. Hearing "I love you" for the first time, unconditionally, after growing up in a house of abuse and trauma. Fuck, I've heard those words so many times from people who never meant it. I just want to hear it for real. No evidence of disease. The previous test was a false positive. Best day of my life. I just had this with a big heart issue. But also terrified that that is wrong and I do have the issue. Huh. Standing by a raging bonfire after I fell into a mountain stream in the dead of winter. What a coincidence, my greatest pleasure was standing in a mountain stream after I fell into a bonfire in the dead of summer. Graduating college. I almost dropped out, but I'm glad I pushed through and worked hard to achieve my degree.